Yo, yo, yo. That's super bright. There we go. What is up, everybody? What is going on, YouTube? Just going to wait here for a little bit and wait for some people to join. If you are here in the chat or on the video, say what's up. Let me know where you're from. And let me know if you can hear me okay. I've got, where is it at? This new little fancy, not new, but little fancy mic connected. Give me 1 second. E-Money, you're second, bro. Sebastian was first. I thought you said you were going to be first, Elijah. My son told me, he promised me he was going to be first. Looks like Sebastian beat him to it. You're too slow, bro. You're too slow. What is up, everybody? Another Wednesday night here in Dallas. Thanks for joining. Good old South Florida. What part of South Florida are you in, Crit? Is that Crit? Yeah, my eyes are not what they used to be. Oh my goodness. What is up, everybody? What is going on? Just kind of waiting a little bit for more people to join. Give them a couple minutes. I did not have any video issues like I did last time or last week. I'm gonna be trying to. I'm really gonna be trying. Don't hold me to it, but I'm really gonna be trying to go live every Wednesday again, like I used to back in the day, and bring you guys hopefully some more value, some more content, some more people that can join the live with me and kind of help us grow our businesses again or continue to grow our businesses. All right, who we got? Who we got here? Tell me where you're from. South Florida. I want to know what part. E Money. You're slow, bro. You're slow. Second is the first place loser. Is what it is. Uh, loud and clear from Laredo, Texas. What is up, Jay? What is that? Jazz Lawn and Dumpster Service. What's up? What's up? Taylor and DFW. What's going on? What part of DFW, my man, or not, or female, girl, whatever. What part of DFW, Taylor? What do we got going on? So today was a crazy one for me. If you saw the thumbnail, that was actually from today. Um, I have no idea what the weight was on that dumpster. It was a 30-yard. So check it out. I got a phone call yesterday for 30 yards for dirt removal. My daughter booked it. She told me, hey, I booked you a dumpster, two dumpsters for dirt in Dallas tomorrow. All right, no problem. It's gonna be the first time I've hauled dirt in the big truck. No big deal. I'll take them at 30, but I'm gonna tell them probably to keep it at about 20, give or take 20 yards. So, and they did pretty good. I don't. They think they did more than 20. It was probably like more like 25 yards of dirt, but they did pretty good. They did put it exactly where I told them to put it. Leveled it out. The problem was it was a very busy highway. 6-lane type of highway with cars coming 60 miles an hour, 55, 60 miles an hour, and I had to block 3 lanes of traffic just for me to back up. That was first issue. Issue number two was it was a very steep driveway and very short. So it's probably the length of a truck and a half of mine, the driveway itself. And it went probably from 0 to easily, I'd say 10 feet. It was an instantly steep driveway. So I had to kind of gun it. Even with my diff lock on, my tires were spinning on the driveway. So I had to go back down and then I had to gun it. Uh, the first time I went up that hill into the driveway, I actually ran out of air in my tanks because I was holding on to the brakes so much. So I had to put the emergency brakes on, engage the emergency brakes, and wait for my tanks to build back up. And then Yeah. So then dropped off the dumpster, went back, picked up the second one from my yard. By the time I got back, the first one was already full. Did a swap out in kind of a nearby yard. There was no room there to do a swap out, man. And yeah, it was super heavy. So never did weigh it out because I took the dirt right back to my yard. But I'm assuming it was probably around 40,000 pounds, give or take. So it was heck of a lot of fun. So as soon as I felt that front end lift up off the ground, I jumped out of the truck, of course, just to take a picture. But I was on property that wasn't mine. I was just on some piece of a lot with some soft ground, so I was kind of flipping out that I was going to get stuck. So, anyways, that was my day. I did two of those dumpsters. The third one is still over there. I'll be picking that one up first thing in the morning. Um, but yeah, that was my day. Tell me how y'all's day went. You guys staying busy? Yesterday we had nothing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sugarcoating anything on this channel. Yesterday we had no deliveries, no pickups. It was super quiet. I had my driver do a couple things. I just told him I had to stay home or go home and take the day off. So paid. I'm just gonna pay him anyways. But luckily, it picked up a lot today. He had a very busy day today from 8 to 5 full day, and then I had a busy day as well. Picked up our 31st dumpster today. Again, tell me in the comments below where you guys are from. Shout out who you are, where you're from, and if you can hear me okay, let me know. Let's get that discussion rolling. But picked up my 31st dumpster today. I bought it from another dumpster guy locally who apparently is selling out. He's not selling. He's selling his business, or he's selling his dumpsters and all his equipment, and kind of focusing more on his personal life. Which, more power to him for making that decision. And I wish him nothing but the best. I did buy a dumpster from him that fit my truck. It would fit my Mac. It was a 20-yard dumpster, and I got it for about half of what it would have cost me brand new. So it was hard for me to say no. Even though right now it's not a time for me to be buying anything, it was just a an offer I couldn't refuse. Maxco is up in the house. What is up, brother? How are you, sir? What else do we got? Who else do we have in here? Chisholm Dumpster Rentals out of, holy moly, don't even Natchitoches. Holy crap, Louisiana. What is up? Yeah, Natchitoches. I don't even know how to say that, man. That's how bad I am. Wait a couple more minutes. You got to do the phonetically spelling for me on how to spell that. In-law dumpsters. What is up, guys from Houston? We met in-law over at the Lone Star Showcase, I believe, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe we met at the Lone Star Dumpster Showcase we held last month. Super cool dudes. Who else we got? Ontario Drone One Shot Waste Disposal from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. What is going on, Ontario? How is the weather up there? Is it cold? Is it getting cold? What are we drinking tonight? I've got some coffee. It's kind of late for some coffee, but today was a high of 69 here in Dallas. Um, it's those mornings where it's cold in the morning. You turn on your heat, and then by the afternoon you turn it on that AC. So can't complain. It's been some beautiful weather, nice and sunny. We're gonna start getting some rain tomorrow. West Virginia in the Panhandle. What is up, Hughes Enterprise and Trucking? Anyways, let's get started talking a little bit about what we're gonna do in 2024, guys. We're like literally right around the corner. This year is just flowing by. Um, I don't know about you guys, but I completed this is my now third year as of October, third year anniversary in October this year. So 2024, this is my first real winter. So it's been something different for me. It's been slow, it's been busy. Some weeks have been slow. Last week or the first week in December, we were slamming. We did pretty good. We did I think 18 dumpsters. On our average is about 20 to 25 dumpsters a week. So for it being slow season in December and doing 18, it was pretty good. As of Monday this morning, as of I believe Monday of this week, I only had like three on the books as far as delivery is concerned. But it definitely picked up. I can look. Let me see where we're at now. Tell me some numbers. What are you guys looking at? How are you guys looking again? I'm curious to know what everybody is doing right now. All right, so first week in December, 18. That was the 4th through the 9th. The 11th through the 16th, I had 10, 13 only. As of right now, this week, I have 11. Yeah, 11 as of this week. We will see. And then next week, we're going to be closed. So next week, I'm going to be closed Sunday and Monday, and then starting back up on Tuesday. So that's what we're doing. As far as 2024, what we are doing right now. So we're going to go in order, kind of my least favorite thing, or my thing that's going to, I don't know, lowest to best, I guess, options on things we're going to do. And then I'm going to have a bonus tip for you at the end. So let's get started. I got it over here in my notes. Give me 1 second. Actually, I'm just going to go 1 through 5. All right, number one. So while it's slow, guys, let me tell you, while it's slow right now, the number one thing that you guys should be doing is really enhancing your online presence. That's it. Look, we're in 2023, 2024, coming in 2024. If you're not online, you might as well just shut your doors. I'm going to be honest with you. There's only so much bootstrapping you can do. There's only so much knocking on doors you can do, even though that's a great strategy. You've got to be online. If you're not online, or if you're not on where a customer is looking for you, then you're not anywhere. You might as well, like I said, close your business. You might as well shut your doors. You've got to be where a customer is looking for. And I don't mean just Google. I'm not saying just go to Google Ads and spend all your money. I'm saying you've got to do what you've got to do and be on every single website you can, every single platform. And here is a way to do it. What I would do, and what I've done, and what I am still doing in this business, is I go to major cities, right? I'm in DFW. It's a huge city. I'm not trying to copy or be like anybody in my city. I'm not like trying to copy or be like anybody in any other city either. But what I'm doing is I'm going to other cities. I'm going to Chicago, Miami, Los Angeles, San Francisco. I'm going to big cities that are kind of comparable to DFW. And what I'm doing is I'm searching dumpster rental businesses in their area. Okay. Then I'm going to look organically at the top 1 and 2, maybe even 3, but that takes up a lot of time. Let's say the um, top one in organic results for dumpster rental business. I'm gonna go to their website. Okay. Then I'm gonna right click on their homepage, anywhere on the homepage, and I'm gonna click on view source. This is how I've done, and I suggest you guys to do your SEO. Okay, if you're doing your own SEO, you're going to look through that view source. It's going to be a bunch of codes, but what you really want to look for is see what their keywords are, and you want to see what their headlines are looking for, the H1, H2, H3 tags. That's the main things that Google searches for, and there's 100 and 1,000 other things that you could do too. But this is just a real quick little tip for you on how I've done it. Okay, so what I'll look at, how are they structuring their keywords? What kind of keywords are they using? Are they using dumpster rentals, Dallas? Are they using Dallas dumpster rentals? Are they using a mixture of those two? Are they using Dallas? Some parts of the country call them open top containers, roll offs. You can use all that in your keywords, but what are the main keywords that they're using, and what are their main headline? What is their H1? That's one of the main ones. Your number one Dallas dumpster rental source, whatever it may be. Then you've got to make sure that when you do your website, you've got your keywords that match your headlines, that match your content, meaning your first paragraph, the first line should have some of the same words that you have in your H1 tag, which are also in your keywords. That right there is a quick little SEO tip. But going back to my number one of my main things that you should do in 2024, enhance your online presence, work on your SEO. Work on the other thing I would do is I would go to those cities. I would look at that number one company that's listed on organically as a number one in that city. Then I'm going to do a name search. Let's say it's ABC Dumpster. I don't know. I'm just saying a name. Let's say the company's name is ABC Dumpster. That's number one in Chicago. Okay. Then what I would do, matter of fact, let's do it real quick together. Let's do it real quick together. I don't think I can share my screen on here. I wish I could. Yeah, I don't think so. But let's just go to Google real quick. Chicago dumpster rental, rentals or rental, whatever service. I'm skipping the sponsored listing. Sponsored is going to be ASAP, which is obviously a national broker. I've got a Texas Elite Dumpster Rentals.com, which is number two for some reason, even though I searched Chicago. They obviously don't have Chicago as a negative keyword in their sponsored listing. Then I've got another sponsored website called Get Dimension. And then I've got another sponsored listing called Texas Rubbish. Again, if you're local, if you're only doing local, your negative keywords, you should look at your negative keywords and you should put as many negative keywords as you want, as you can, which means a negative keyword is something that you where you won't pull up if somebody searches that word. So if my negative keyword for American Native Dumpsters was Chicago, then I would not be paying for a lead when someone's looking for a dumpster rental in Chicago, if that makes sense. Let me know if you guys have any questions about this. This is really, really, really high level kind of stuff, but I'm just kind of talking. All right, organically, first one's gonna be waste management. I'm not looking for a national brand, I'm looking for a local company, so we're gonna skip that. Second one is gonna be A City Dumpsters. I mean, I believe that might be a broker as well. Let's click on that. Also a broker. So we're going to skip that one. Well, Chicago may not be. All right, tristatedisposal.com. Looks like it might be local. All right, looks like Tri-State is a local company. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to say, okay, Tri-State Disposal is the company's name. I'm going to take that company name and I'm going to put it in quotation marks in the search engine. I'm going to go to Google again. I'm going to search with quotation marks, Tri-State, what was it? Tri-State Disposal. Dash Tri dash state space disposal. What I'm doing is I want to see everywhere that this company advertises in. I want to see every single website where this company is listed on. And what that will do for me is I will be able to see like what directories they're on that I'm not on. It gives me ideas of places where I should be advertising, where every single link that these guys advertise, every single website that these guys advertise on, every single directory that they're on, um, is another backlink to their website, which allows them to rank higher in organically. So we're just using an example of a company that is doing well organically. We're seeing where they're advertising at for free most of the time, and then we're using that as an example for us to go and go to those directories and post our website on. So obviously, if I look up Tri-State Disposal, their website is number one. Facebook is number two, the second listing. They're on LinkedIn. Okay. Again, these are things. If you're not on LinkedIn, you should probably get on LinkedIn. I should probably get on LinkedIn. I don't think I'm even on LinkedIn myself. So that's something that I need to work on. They're on Yelp. They're on websites called Doxo. We're going to see what Doxo is, see if it's a directory. Doxo, Doxo. Okay, this looks like a directory where you can create a profile. This is somewhere where if it's free, I'll log in. I'll try to see how to create a profile and then advertise my company there too. Obviously, I think I said Yelp. They're on TextDot or not TextDot. I'm sorry, they're DOT. They're on Dun and Bradstreet. Again, you're using these as ideas on where you should be at. So if you're not on, if you don't have a profile on Dun and Bradstreet or Better Business Bureau, you can go in there and you can create a profile. You can create a company profile. Where else are they listed? Go through sponsored, Instagram, Better Business Bureau. I just mentioned Better Business Bureau. Better Business Bureau is a huge backlink back to your website. Any any major company like that, whether it be local, what do you call them, Chamber of Commerce's, school districts, local newspapers, Better Business Bureau, huge backlink to your site is really good for your SEO on your website. They're on MapQuest. They're on Zoom Info. Again, directories. Zoom Info is a directory. If you're not on there, get on there. This is a very, very old school way of how to do this. Like do your research, kind of look at all this stuff. Yellowpages.com. Again, you're not on there, it's free. You should have a free listing on yellowpages.com. Dumpster Rentals Depot.com. Let me see if this is a directory. I think that's looks like a broker. Let's see here. Looks like a broker where they actually allow you to have a profile. So um, partner with us. Let's see. You go to about section and partner with us. Join and increase your company's exposure to the local market. And get listed on dumpsterrentalsdepot.com site and your customer to find out your company online for what? Again, the directory. Here's a dumpster directory I had no idea about. I did not know. And you can be listed on here, and it'll create. It's not so much as people finding you on the directory. It's more about getting backlinks to your website that are related to your website, that are related to your industry, and that have authority in Google's eyes, right? So again, that's just a real quick example of what you guys can be doing to increase your online presence, but that's something that you should be doing now to hopefully benefit from it next winter, right? Or it takes time for Google to go through its algorithms and kind of push you up, but sometime next year, maybe a month from now, maybe 6 months from now, whatever, but it's going to be something to benefit you down the road. Do it now while it's slow. I mean, you're not doing if you're slow right now and you're at home and you've got time, get on the computer, open up the laptop, get on there and start advertising, start doing this stuff. Questions, comments, concerns, guys. I don't like talking about myself that much. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, it's a little hot in here. Turn this fan on. There we go. All right. Online presence. Again, we talked a little bit about that. Where are my notes? Optimizing your SEO, updating your Google My Business. Again, we talked a little bit last week. Do you guys want me to talk a little bit about Google My Business, a whole new update that's coming out? Let me know. But Google My Business is coming out with an update. If you guys want me to revisit that, I will talk about it briefly again, about it. Something that's super important for you guys to do with your GMB, to make sure that you change, because it's going to affect your presence on your Google My Business. Let's see here. What is SEO? SEO is what is how your website ranks on Google. Okay, SEO stands for search engine optimization, which means again your website requires SEO in order for your company to rank when someone's looking for, let's say, dumpster rental services in your city on Google. Um, yeah, it's how your website ranks. Abigail wants to know how many rentals did I do this year? Let's look it up. Again, I use DRS. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's see here. Nope. Looks super bright. Anyways, that won't work. But I use DRS, dumpster rental software, in order to run all my reports. Let me see. There it is a little bit. Little tab on the bottom. Let me turn this brightness down. Nope. Little tab on the bottom says reports. You can click on that, and I literally have a bunch of reports that I can run. All these are different reports that you can run in your software, to see how your business is doing financially, volume wise, revenue, taxes, you name it. So I'm going to do a quick report of year to date, or sales overview by date range. We're going to go with the whole year 2023. As of right now, I've got 658 rentals year to date. $658. SEO is the practice of going of what? SEO is the practice of teaching Google how to connect you to future potential customers. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Without optimizing your website, it's like having a car with no gas, right? It's not going anywhere. Your website's not going to go anywhere without having SEO. It's content on your website. It's the words that you put on your website. It's how easy it is for a customer, or a potential customer, to find your website on Google. Because again, if you don't optimize your website for it to be found, Google has no idea what your website is all about. You can't just make a website and eventually hope that it'll be found. You have to optimize it. You have to create valuable content. You have to add pictures, locations, contact forms, all that stuff on your website in order for it to be found. So that's what that is. Um, so here's another tidbit for you guys. If you absolutely know nothing about SEO, actually, Joe and I were talking, and Daniel were talking earlier today about different things. But if you know absolutely nothing about SEO, you have two options: learn it or pay somebody to do it for you. Um, and there's so many SEO scammers out there. Everybody from India to, Pakistan to here locally that everybody says, give me $1,000 a month and I will do it for you, and you won't see results right away because you never do. It takes a while for Google to optimize a website or Google to find it. So you literally have to pay for months before you can actually hopefully see some sort of result, which really sucks. And then by then you don't know if the guy's the person scamming you or not. But fear not. Google will offer and does offer free online training if you really want to do it yourself. If you have the time, the patience, and the um, yeah, just the time and the patience to learn it yourself, go to Google. It's free. They literally have courses where you can become certified through Google. Somebody knows the name of it. Let me know in the comments. Let me see. Google free certification courses. There it is, right there. Grow.google is I believe the website where you can get online. There it is. Grow.google online certified certifications. Again, you can do SEO, you can do AdWords, you can be certified to do all that stuff straight through Google, straight from the horse's mouth. Guys, if you're watching and I'm dropping these bombs, make sure you give me a like, subscribe, share this video, please, because we need to get these counts up. I was notified or reminded today how my websites have crappy viewership. So I appreciate it if you guys hit that like button. Thanks, Joe. Anyways, moving on. Again, free courses on Google. It's grow.google, I believe. Just look it up. You can be certified and learn how to do it yourself, or like I said, find somebody to pay. If you don't have the time and you just want somebody to do it for you, just be very careful. I prefer to go with somebody who's recommended because there's just so many people out there taking people for a ride with SEO. It's really easy to scam. So my advice. As far as Google My Business, um, now is the time. Again, when you're slow, do it now. Try to stay consistent with it. Try to do it either daily or 3 or 4 times a week. Stay consistent with updating your GMB, which means your Google My Business is your profile. It's like your home, not your website, but it's like your online yellow pages directory on Google. Okay. Go to your GMB. If you don't have one, you better create one. If you have one, make sure you're updating it constantly. Try to keep uploading pictures. Another tidbit that I've learned over the years: DFW is a huge market. Okay, one hour, 9 a.m. I may be in Dallas. Then 2 hours later, I may be in Cedar Hill. 3 hours later, I may be in Lancaster dropping off dumpsters. When you take a picture on your iPhone, or I don't know, Samsung, but I'm pretty sure any phone, when you take a picture, it automatically creates like a geo tag of the location that you're at, which means it automatically knows that I took a picture in Dallas. When I take that same picture and I go to my GMB, my Google My Business, and I upload that picture into a post or into a update and say, hey, I just dropped off a 30-yard dumpster in Dallas. I use the keyword Dallas. I use the keyword dumpster. And then I upload a picture that I ended up taking in Dallas. All that photo information, it's crazy how they track us, but all that photo information is actually goes along with the photo itself. So when I upload that picture in Dallas, Google knows that I took that picture in Dallas and will like bump up that picture if you say if it will help verify to Google and to my GMB that that picture was taken in Dallas. And again, it will help, how do you say, authenticate that post even more. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. If you knew this, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't know this, give me a heart. Let me know that I'm teaching something here, because it's super important for you guys to understand how this stuff actually works. Everything is related. When I go to Cedar Hill, when I go to DeSoto, and I take a picture in those cities, I want Google to know that I'm actually in that city. I'm not lying. I'm not pretending to be another company from somewhere else, or a broker. I want more value. I want my post, I want my GMB to have more value than the next guy, than the guy who's sitting in Pakistan, uploading random pictures of dumpsters that, or on somebody's Google My Business profile just for spam. Uh Google knows this stuff, and this is how you rank up. This is how your GMB ranks up as well. Just how your website has SEO, that helps you rank up in Google's eyes in the search engines. Your GMB will rank up against other companies that are local in your area, and will start ranking up slowly and to the top. Same thing with your reviews. When you get a review, it is super important that you respond to it with important keywords. Again, you want your website, or you want your GMB to rank well based on the services that you offer. Okay. So if someone leaves me a 5-star review, let's say Maxie goes and leaves me a review. Joe, leave me a review if you haven't left me a review on American AF Dumpsters. But anyways, if you guys leave me a review, okay, and you say, hey, great service, whatever it may be, 5-star service, whatever, that review might not have keywords in it. A customer might not put specific keywords in there. But my response to Joe is going to be, hey, Joe, thanks for renting a dumpster for your project in Dallas this last week. We really appreciate your business, and we look forward to doing business with you in the future. Again, dumpster, Dallas was my two keywords that I responded in that review. That also gets searched, indexed by Google, and allows you to be found when someone's looking for a service in your area. If you didn't know, now you know. Your responses to your reviews are not just being polite to somebody saying thank you for leaving a review. If you say thanks for the 5-star review, that is a wasted response, because all that gets indexed by Google. Bottom line. Looking at some of these questions here. What's changing with GMB? Caleb, great question. GMB, Google My Business, is changing the way that they rank you during your off hours. I mentioned this in my last week's live. This is kind of big. If you are the type of business to show that you are open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. because you don't want phone calls after 8 o'clock, okay, no problem. No big deal at all. However, a you will not be shown as a option to somebody moving forward who's looking for a dumpster business after 8 p.m. So if it's 10 o'clock at night and I'm a contractor and I just remembered, shit, I need a dumpster for first thing in the morning. I got a project going on. And I search for a dumpster service in DeSoto, Texas. Your company's not going to show up because you show that you're closed from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. My company that shows that I'm 24 hours a day will show up. So, may not mean that you have to sit there and answer your calls 24 hours a day, but I want to be found all day, all night long. I don't want to be penalized, so to speak, because I'm showing that my business is closed after hours. So that is a big change that Google is doing. They feel like they shouldn't be showing um, somebody a company when they're likely not going to be open when they're searching for a service. So let's see here. If I'm looking up dumpster, let's see. Let's look up dumpster service Chicago again. Dumpster service Chicago. I'm gonna look at the GMB listings. First one is gonna be been there, done, dump that. Of course, they are a big broker. They show closed. But if I click on see more services, first one is gonna be junk luggers of Great Texas. They sound like junk remover. junk removal. Hired hand junk services. Been there, dumped at shows closed. 606 junk removal and dumpster rentals shows open 24 hours and 130 reviews, 4.9 stars. The next one, two, three are open, and then a lot are closed. So some cities it may have rolled out on, some it hasn't, but just make sure that you're open. Jazz says, yes, best time for me is after hours. Well, yeah, well, why is that? Well, because you're probably one of the only ones that answer their phone. We're small businesses. We should be answering your phone. Look, if you close at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock because you don't want to be bothered after hours and you think it's an 8 to 5 job, great, that's fine. You can do that, but you're missing out. You're missing out on a lot of after hours calls. You're missing out on those freezers that go out, those compactors that break down. Walmart's, HEB's, Kroger's, Pick and Saves, whatever you may call them, they all have freezers. And if they go out, they need to get rid of that trash fast. And they're willing to pay a premium to get a dumpster company out there in the middle of the night. If you're willing to do it, you can make some good money. And at one job, can turn into 4, 5, 6 turns. One job can turn into a year, 2 year long relationship with a broker who may have called you to cover a job, and now you're their number one service provider in your area. It's really hard um, to turn that business down. Anyways, moving on. We've only gotten number one, and we're already a half hour in. I'm not doing an hour and a half I did last. I was tired last week. All right, let's see. Network with local contractors and businesses. All right, y'all. This is a good one. I think they're all good because it's all good ideas. It's about implementing them all is what's important. Networking. Look, so earlier this week, I actually met with, and some of you guys hopefully are in here. If you're in here, give me a shout out. But let me know. I actually met with how many companies? One, two, three, like five local businesses. I could have had more. It was kind of a last minute deal of people that I either have met before or have thrown me business in the past. And there were several others that I didn't even invite, not because of anything. I just didn't think about them, unfortunately. But I've got a list moving forward to where we all met up for dinner. I'm sorry, for lunch, about an hour of our time. We all met up, kind of introduced ourselves, where we're at, what areas we cover, what types of dumpsters sizes we have, all to network with each other. Just kind of created a network of local companies in the area who are willing, hungry, and non-competitively to work together. In case I have a service that they can't provide, or they have one that I can't provide, or they cover an area that I don't want to go to, or is too far for me, doesn't make sense, I can farm out to them and I can still say yes to the customer. I cannot stand saying no to a customer. So, having a group of like-minded hustlers that are willing to work, that are dumpster runners as well, is important to have in your wheelhouse, right? So it's important to make connections like that, guys. Let me know. I know, Joe, you do that with a group, and special guys. Maxco does that with some guys in his area. If you don't have a group like that in your area, find it. Get with people that you've done business with, or that you've referred business to, or that have referred business to you. Meet up with them. Try to meet up with them once a month. Do a quick lunch. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't even have to be lunch. Just meet up, talk about business. Uh, you know, I've already gotten one job just from that lunch alone that I had. We had on Monday, and it just works. Yeah, let's say those guys find themselves in a bind and they can't pick up a dumpster because they don't have a heavy truck. If they're hook lift, I can go help them out. If they're not, then there's another guy in our group that has cable pull that can pull them out. You've got to be able to have people that you can rely on in case your trucks break down, in case you're out of service, you don't have enough dumpsters, um, all that stuff. You've got to network. You've got to network. That's networking number one for with people that are in your industry, or local other companies that are like you. Second thing is going to be make sure you network with other businesses that may provide services that can go hand in hand with our business. If you don't have a junk removal company that you work with, or that you can pick up the phone, and say, hey, look, I've got a customer who wants a junk removal. What would you charge me for this, this type of job? You're missing out on business. You're missing out on closing a customer who wants your dumpster but also wants junk removal, right? Or just junk removal. Um, and you're missing out on that affiliate relationship with that junk removal company, because 9 times out of 10, that junk removal company eventually will run into a customer or a job where they can't handle it with their trucks or whatever they have, their trailers, and they might call you in exchange and scratch your back. It's all about scratching each other's back. If you don't have a company that you can pick up the phone today and say, hey, look, I've got a client who needs a demo job. What would you charge me for a demo? Or can you quote this client for me? You're missing out. You're missing out on demo jobs. Just farming out a demo job. It's as simple as making a phone call, and you could generate hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars on a referral, uh, or just the goodwill of like knowing that you helped that guy out, and when he needs help, he's going to call you. So you've got to get out and network with other companies that work in our same niche. Reading some of these comments here, collaboration is key. Having other people in the same field in different areas makes you look like you're well diverse and connected. All right, absolutely. So DFW is a huge, huge, huge market. I don't want to go all the way to Fort Worth. I cannot. I don't like Fort Worth. I don't like going over there. I just don't want to. Um, if the money's right, I will. I have in the past, but I'd rather have somebody that I can pick up the phone and say, hey, look, I need a 20 yard over here. They give me a price of, let's say, 450. I turn around and can charge a customer 475, 500, 525, whatever it may be. I make a little bit of a cut. He gets happy, he gets business, and I know he can take care of the customer. You've got to be able to trust who you're working with, though, and you've got to be able to cut that tie or cut that connection with that person if they screw you over, or if, the first time that they do something and then mess with the customer, mess with your reputation, it's not worth it. It's really not. But that one dumpster can turn into, again, 5, 10, 20 down the road, and next you know, you've got a nice little chunk of change. You've got a customer that you can that uses you on a regular basis. That customer might have other locations in your area. uh it might be a contractor that has multiple jobs, whatever it may be, that you could have turned down had you have said no because you didn't have any relationships with anybody in Fort Worth or whatever. So let's see here. I went to your dumpster showcase. My leads have slowed down. I'm here in Dallas. Jesus, I have my dumpster located here off of Samuel and 30, and currently have a 15 and 20 yard dumpster. What would get me more leads? Jesus, man, right now, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, business is slow. It's slow. It's that time of year. So if your jobs have gone down because since the showcase, that's to be expected. I hate to break it to you, man, but it is a slow time of year. Lots of dumpsters are sitting right now. Um, like I said earlier in the stream, I had 0 jobs yesterday, and it's been a while since I've had 0 jobs, 0 pickups, 0 drop offs, 0 deliveries. So it's been a while. It's just slow, and it's not the market, it's not the economy, it's not Joe Biden, it's not Donald Trump, it's not, whatever. It is that time of year. This is seasonal. It's not even that cold here in DFW, and people just don't want to work sometimes. Is there work out there? Absolutely. Is there enough work to keep us busy? I don't know. It's hard for me to tell you. I do know in the springtime it's going to pick up. And I don't know if that makes you feel any better now, but it's just we have to prepare all year long to know that come November, December, January, it's going to slow down, and it's going to slow down big time. It might slow down 50 to 75% of what you were doing in August. Where are we at? Oh, let's see here. 1000% Maxco. What did Maxco say? Oh, collaboration is key. Yep. I bounce work from guys all the time. Agreed at Dash Holloway. Daniel, the dumpster helper's here. What is up, Daniel? I missed you. Oh, there you go. The man with a plan. What's going on, brother? I missed some of these comments up here. Website is always answering. So in-laws, that's kind of important. He says his website is always answering. Absolutely. If you don't take online bookings on your website, you are losing out, and you are not with the times. To be honest with you, I mean, you've got to take online bookings. That's solid. Which size can would say is your most popular of those 30 yarders putting in the work? Abigail asks, what size is the most popular? 20s. 20s. As of right now, 20s do both construction and residential. Can get in and out of almost anywhere. They're just the easiest and the most rented. 15 yards are the cheapest, least expensive. 30 yards going to be more only for construction. And 25 yards are kind of like the ugly duckling. It's kind of like I'll rent a 25 when my 20s are all booked out, or I'll rent a 25 when, well, that's about it. Just when all the 20s are booked out. Now that I have 30s, the 25s are not being used as much. Do you do daily or weekly or monthly rentals for all the above? Weekly. I've stuck to only 7 days for 25 yards and below, so 15, 20, and 25s, and I'll do up to 10 days for 30 just because contractors are expecting that. Let me move on a little bit real quick, try to get past these five things. So we talked about enhancing your online presence. We've talked about networking with either local businesses and or other businesses, local dumpster companies, junk removal guys, demo guys, as well as your local um, chamber of commerce. If you're in small towns like I am, outside of Dallas, smaller chamber commerces they hit hard. I mean, they really do. You can get some really good business from chambers because there's nothing but business owners in the chamber of commerces, right? So if you go to a chamber of commerce meeting, the one in Red Oak does it once a month. They have a luncheon. They usually have a guest speaker. if you can if you can find a way, if you're okay at speaking in crowds and you can find a way to get yourself to be at one of the guest speakers, talk about something, talk about websites, SEO, talk about whatever you're good at. If you're good at shaking hands and kissing babies, as my buddy Ricky Hickey would say from East Texas or West Texas. If you're good at that kind of stuff, like Brock talks about shaking hands, boots on the ground, talk about something like that. But if you can be a speaker at a local chamber, that's even better because it'll set you up as the authority in your area. And anytime anybody's thinking about a dumpster service, they will more than likely call you first. So networking is important. Number three, number three thing to do now to hopefully launch you into 2024 is to implement some sort of social media strategy. It kind of goes in hand with the online, the website, all that stuff, but you need to be on social media. You need to get your asses on Facebook. You need to get yourself on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Those three, again, I'm not even big into LinkedIn, and I'm here preaching something that I don't do, which I usually don't do that either. But I know LinkedIn would be a good source of um, business. I just have it's been hard for me to get on LinkedIn to get the hang of that. Um, but LinkedIn is a really good source with contractors supposedly and people like in higher ups of bigger companies. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok is another good one. Even if you just want to do short little videos, you may think that TikTok is for little kids dancing. It's not anymore. TikTok is huge and is like I think it's like the third largest search engine, something like that. I don't know. You got Google, you got YouTube, and I think TikTok is right there next to it now. Nowadays, my own daughter uses TikTok to do Google like search for things, which drives me nuts. But she does. So I think that's going to be a really big thing in the future coming up is using TikTok more as a search engine versus just like an entertainment platform. So you definitely want to get on there and start utilizing these things, guys. Really, really, really come up with a plan, set up some sort of strategy, say, okay, I'm going to start. And this is advice I have to follow myself because my business YouTube, my business Facebook page is very hit or miss, just like YouTube is. I don't have a consistency. I struggle with being consistent sometimes, but if you can post, three, I think Gary Vee says 3 to 5 times a day. Um, you're definitely winning. So post as much as you can. And what I would do is, try not to post, same pictures over and over and over of your dumpsters. Maybe, if you get a good video, a picture like the one I took today of the truck in the air, that would, create kind of intrigue, conversation, kind of spark people to talk and really help boost your post. So create some sort of strategy on social media. share engaging content like waste management tips, business behind the scene types of stuff, or customer testimonials. For those of you guys that are working on getting reviews, I know me and Daniel go back and forth about like, hey, we just got a new review today. We're like neck and neck as far as reviews, although he has all 5.0 stars and I have not so many. I've got a couple little bad ones, but the if you take a 5-star review and then you go to Canva and you do like this whole little, picture and you make it look nice with the 5 stars on top, and the actual review and maybe the person's name on the bottom, you create like an image of that and then you share it onto Facebook. That's golden. You guys need to be doing that. Sharing it on Facebook, Instagram, sharing those pictures, sharing those testimonials from people. Um, you know, Doing like a collage of them always looks nice too. Kind of really helps you put your name out there. Before I get to number 4, let me look through these comments again. What about the people that get angry that it shows that you're open but aren't answering? They'll leave a message and they'll get over it and call the next person. Really, at the end of the day, hopefully you call them back. Hopefully you answer. If it's after hours, like really after hours, you're dead asleep, you don't answer. Well, then so be it. Call them back first in the morning. Or what I do is on my voicemail, I'll say, "Hey, I'm sorry we weren't able to answer your call at this time or whatever." But you can book a dumpster online 24/7 at www.americanafdumpsters.com. Or if you need to service your dumpster, leave a message and we'll service it as soon as we possibly can, as far as like swap outs, or a pickup. But you just remind people that, because a lot of times people aren't going to your website. What they're doing is they're doing a search for a dumpster rental service. Your number pops up on the map listings or the GMB that we were talking about earlier, and a lot of times they just call straight from there. So they might not even go to your actual website to see what you offer or what your prices are. So if you say your website name on your voicemail and that they can book online 24/7, hopefully that'll turn them around, go to your website and actually do an online booking. What is your main source of leads? Jesus asks. Google. Google. Google My Business are probably one of my main sources. Again, we're a very localized business. We don't ship across the country. Our service area is 30 minutes from my yard. More than that, I charge, but it's very localized, which means your number one way to be found on Google is GMB. And if it's not GMB, then it's AdWords or your SEO. What's up, Dashaway? He says having other people in the same field in different areas makes you look like you're well diverse and connected. Absolutely. Looking through some comments. Make sure you guys ask any questions that you may have. What's up, CR Superior? Always available in McKinney area. McKinney. Oh, it's Mesquite I was thinking about. Mesquite sucks, man. Mesquite, they tag your dumpsters real quick. They want to tow it. Dashaway says there's more than enough food on the table for everyone. Absolutely, man. But he also admits that it's low. Brandon asked what margin do I aim for? 30%, 40%. All right, so margins is kind of a funny, tricky situation, right? Because at first, when it's just a one-man show, one-man operation, having margins of about 60 or 70% is not uncommon and it's not difficult. One man, you can pretty much shoot for 60 to 70%. As soon as you start having that overhead, as soon as you have an employee, um, truck payments, what else? You're paying for a yard. You're paying for somebody to answer your phone. You're eventually paying for what do you call it? Like a manager for your company, or yeah, just a manager, like a payroll position. Your profit margins shoot way down. So let's say, once you add an employee, you might be at like 40 or 50% profit margins. And then once you add more employees or multiple employees, office staff, an office, you might be a healthy profit margin for any business that's like steady kind of running is what, 15 to 25%. And let's say you're completely hands off. Let's say you want to operate, you just want to collect the checks. You want to have an operations manager come in, deal with all the day-to-day stuff, you want to be completely out, your profit margins may be all the way down to 7 to 10%, maybe even less than that. Because you're paying yourself a payroll or whatever, high payroll, office manager, all that stuff. So it really just kind of depends at what stage in your company you're at to really kind of say, okay, this is the kind of profit margins I want to shoot for right now. But that also means more revenue, right? So as soon as you hire a new employee, yeah, your profit margins might go down, but now you open, excuse me, now if you do like I'm doing, I'm just doing the filling. So my employee, I give him full time. I give him all the work that he can possibly handle, or I can possibly give him in the non CDL truck. I'm handling the big truck until I go all the way full time. Once I go full time, once I see that I'm spending again another 30 to 50 hours a week behind the wheel of that truck, then it's say, okay, now it's time to put somebody in my position on a steady basis, right? It's got to be steady. It can't just be 1 week I'm doing 40 hours a week and all of a sudden I need to hire somebody. No, I'm going to do 40 hours a week for probably 3 to 4 months before I say, okay, now it's time for me to hire somebody. I have more than enough work for this truck that I can hire somebody here in the second truck, get me a third truck, and then I can go back to doing filling again in the third truck until I start working my way up to full time in the third truck. Again, your revenue should go up, your profit margins go down a little bit, but it should kind of equal out, right? Because you have more revenue. That's ideal. Hopefully, I answered your question. Here in the outside West Austin, same situation here, or west of Austin. Let's see here. Big man Dan, Ontario. Jesus says he's 21 years old, trying to get into a big truck non CDL. Hopefully this year I'll make that happen. Yeah, man. So just always remember that try not to bite off more than you can chew. I've always seen, you see it all the time where somebody always says, I want to get into a big truck and they're just not ready for it. You got to make sure that you're ready for it. It's a big commitment. When you're talking about a big truck, you're talking about, well, if you do non CDL, you're not talking about DOT, but you're talking about big bills. Big truck equals big bills. Questions, comments, concerns. We are going on to number 4 right now. Things that I can do right now to increase my business going into 2024 is number 4, to launch a targeted print media campaign. I have done flyers. I've shown it before in my lives or in my videos, but you've got to have flyers. You've got to have, you can target, you can send out mailers to your immediate area. Again, our area is not that big. Your immediate area is only like a 30-mile radius, if that, from your yard, or should be. Hopefully, no more than that. But your main target area, it would not cost too much to do a targeted print campaign, meaning flyers, mailing out mailers in your area. And you can look up, there's plenty of companies that do it, that will send out little postcards. Need a dumpster. You can even target it to houses that are coming up for sale or going for sale, or they're recently listed for sale. You can create, this is going kind of back to the social media campaign, but you can create a Facebook campaign to people who recently listed their house for sale. Um, Other things about print is other examples of print is obviously business cards, all that stuff. If you don't have that stuff, you get some. But the flyers are important. Create flyers for homeowners as well as for contractors. If you want a one side homeowner, the other side contractor, great. If you want two different flyers, that's good as well too. But when you're out there, you got to do it. You got to hand it out by hand. Give it to people. Give it to contractors that you see are working on houses, new houses that are going up for sale. If they're not there, leave it on the fence, leave it on the gates, leave it on the mailboxes, whatever it may be. Leave those flyers out there. Let people know that you're there to provide that kind of service. That's important, y'all. Like having print is not dead. It's really not. Um, those mailers that go to houses, even those coupon books, or even local magazines. My local city, Red Oak, or Waxahachie, or Ennis, they all have these Ennis Now magazines. They're like whatever the city's name is, and now afterwards. And you can just call Now Magazine and say, "Hey, I want to post an ad I think the last one I had for the limo company probably cost me about, I want to say it was like $600 a month, or $600 per print, per magazine that I wanted to be in. And those local magazines get read by those local people. I guarantee it. I'm telling you, they get read. And all it would take is one dumpster rental or two. It depends on how much it costs now, to pay for that one ad. It's well worth it. Branding alone is worth it, in my opinion. But there we go. Again, guys, make sure you're liking, subscribing, smashing that notification bell. If you're here, I'm sure you're subscribed, but make sure you hit that like button. Let people know that this is worth their time to come on here. I would really appreciate that. What else we got? Collaborate with local businesses like hardware stores to display your marketing materials. Include special offers in your print media to attract new customers. Obviously, if you're going to do something on print, not obviously, because I'm sure a lot of you guys may not even know this because I didn't at first, but if you're going to do something in print, create some sort of offer, a compelling offer, not only so that you can hopefully hook them into booking your services when they need it, but also so you can track your returns on that investment, your return on that expense of the ad, right? So DRS offers coupon codes where you can create a coupon code called Red Oak Now. You can create a coupon code called 2024 Special, whatever you want to call it. You create that code and you can assign what discount you want that to apply for them. It gives them a little bit of discount, but again, it also allows you to track. Okay, I spent $600 for this ad, but I got back 10 bookings that made me $5,000, whatever it may be. So you can know what your cost is for that ad, your return on investment on that ad. Um, Super important for knowing what works and what doesn't work. Obviously, if I spend $600 on something, I want to see a return. If I don't, I won't be advertising there again next time. Um, Other examples is going to be like, oh, around here, football's huge, right? High school football is big. We just finished playoffs or whatever they're called, championships as well. Football games. A lot of local high schools, they do like their magazine, or they're not. I'm sorry, not a magazine. They do their calendars, where they take them to all the local businesses, branding on there, and the local businesses hang them up in like prominent places, either in the front window, front doors, or wherever they hang up flyers and business cards at. That's huge advertising. There's a company here that I contacted not that long ago that they do, what do you call it? Like custom tabletops for restaurants. And then under there is like all these ads, and it's like covered by acrylic or whatever it is, clear, so you can't like pick it. It's not cheaply made. It lasts for an entire year. And these local restaurants get free tables. So it's pretty cool for the restaurant, and it's pretty cool for the advertisers because you're literally smack dab right there, where you in the area that you want to advertise in, to people that hopefully are your potential client base. Super smart. And that didn't cost that much either. Comments. How can I gather dumpster runners and discuss how we can work together and help each other? It's simple, Jazz. Jazz asks, how can he contact other dumpster people and work together? Pick up the phone. If you don't already work with them, just pick up the phone, man. And if they're smaller companies like you and I, more than likely you're gonna be talking to the business owner on the other line. You're not trying to sell them anything. Look, you're trying to collaborate with them. Send them an email. Send them a Facebook message. Um, you've got to research your competitors. Always got to know who your competitors are, right? I know who most of my companies are in my area, and just reaching out to the business owner and say, hey, look, my name is Josh with American AF Dumpsters. I would love to create a network of like-minded individuals who are in this business to kind of bounce ideas off of. Would you be interested in meeting up for lunch one day? I'm trying to put a group together of people who are willing to work together. It's simple, man. Just we got to get. Sometimes I'm really. What's weird about me is I'm super antisocial. Um, it's not. It may be weird. I don't know why I say it's weird, but it is because I'm on YouTube. I talk to a bunch of you guys all the time, but meeting new people, I'm so antisocial. It's not even funny. I have always been kind of in my shell, and we really have to work on that. I know I do, to kind of get out there and just collaborate. And the worst I can say is no, I'm not interested, and you move on to the next person. You just know that's a guy that you don't want to refer next time, right? You don't want to throw business to, if they say no. So Let's see. A demo guy near me got a box of. That's funny. I don't know if I can say that. Mexico says a demo guy near him got a box of condoms printed with the phrase "You're about to get demolished" with his logo. That's. I mean, look, we're talking about it, right? It catches your attention. It catches my attention. It might be a little inappropriate, but it's funny as hell, right? I mean, uh, that's kind of cool. I mean, good advertising. I had signs done and put them in new development subdivisions. So, Jazz talks about signs. Those are bandit signs. Let me tell you, if you're not putting out hundreds of signs, you got to put out a lot of signs for it to be really worth it. And then the thing is, around here, they get picked up. So, I think the code is around here. It's good during the weekends. You can actually put them out on Fridays, but by Monday morning, you have to pull them back up. Otherwise, the city comes around and takes them and confiscates them. I know, I believe it was Maxco that posted a video. I know Same Day Dumpsters also posted a video of stapling bandit signs higher up on. It was Joe. He posted it and he got caught uh, higher up on light poles. Uh, Good idea, awesome idea. Just don't get caught like he did. But putting up higher makes it more difficult for people to pull it down. Uh, Bandit signs are big, dude. And if like Jazz saying, putting them on the outsides of subdivisions, like on the exits and stuff, where everybody sees it, they all stop at the stop sign to get out. Absolutely smart idea. Fridge magnets. Everyone loves fridge magnets, and it's in their face every time they open the fridge for another beer. So that's a good idea. So I was actually kind of contemplating the idea of gloves. I found a website where I could do customized gloves with a logo on it, and then like a phone number. Um, they're just work gloves, and when you deliver a dumpster, you automatically give a free pair of gloves to the homeowner. And I think it was for like $2, $3. I'm gonna place an order on that and let you guys know how that goes. But I really think that something like that they can use. I mean, if they're gonna be throwing crap away in a dumpster. Odds are they're gonna be using a glove, or they're gonna be using gloves, or they should. So giving a nice set, even the ones with like maybe even grip. I think they were like $2 a piece, a pair. So um, giving that out to homeowners when you deliver a dumpster, and then with a little maybe a little uh, card or something stapled to it. Please leave a review if you like this pair. Um, Leave us a, I don't know, 5 stars. I don't know, something kind of catchy, something kind of funny to have them leave us a 5-star review. Would be an investment well worth it, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about that idea. Let's see here. Jeremy Russell says just signed up with DRS yesterday, looking to run a spring ad blast with coupon to get folks to go and book online. HCT Dump Squad in Knoxville area. Jeremy, congratulations with DRS. DRS is awesome. It is also very kind of time consuming and tricky to learn. I'm gonna let you know that ahead of time. If nobody told you that up front, it's true. It is. I wouldn't say it's non-user friendly. It is super user friendly once you get the hang of it. If you don't get the hang of it, if you can't get the hang of it, it takes a while. You got to definitely go through their onboarding process, ask as many questions as you can, and make sure that you're constantly asking questions. You're constantly kind of learning because the system has so many features that it's almost overwhelming. But once you get the hang of it, it's worth every penny, in my opinion. Um, Dashaway says, I saw your eyes light up when I mentioned Prince. This is referring to you being an introvert. When you mentioned Prince, I missed that one, man. We've done candles with our logo on it and a 10% off card. Your next service after servicing them. Candles, like glass candles, like actual candles like this with it. That's kind of cool. Good idea. People keep candles for a while. Well prepared. Been in tech for 5 to 10 years with city systems. Okay, well there you go, man. You'll have fun. Gloves sounds like a good idea. I think so. I don't know. I think somebody mentioned tape measures, rulers, things that people will need when they rent a dumpster when they're throwing stuff away. A lot of people rent dumpsters um, when when they're moving out, right? So, anyways, sorry, I'm kind of reading comments while I'm talking, so I get distracted. Let's see here. So we talked about the media campaign, targeted print media. Include include special offers in your print media so that you know where your customers are coming from. Super important. Um, Arm wrestling. Only my mom calls me Joshua, so it's Josh for you guys. Just kidding. Let's see here. What are your thoughts on John with same day hauling concrete dumpsters with only 3 tons payload? How does he do it? Does concrete in Utah weigh 100 pounds of 100 pounds of cubic yard? What are my thoughts on John? I'm trying to read this question again. What are my thoughts on John with same day hauling concrete dumpsters with only 3 tons of payload? I'm not sure what your question is. I don't know. I don't know what he hauls or how many tons he has of. 3 tons would be what about? So a ton of concrete is right around a yard. Am I right? Let me know what you guys think. I don't know. Let me know what you mean by that question. Arm wrestling. And the last one is to let's see here. I lost my place here. The last one, in my opinion, is going to be there we go. All right, last one is going to be streamline operational efficiencies. All right. So what do I mean by being more efficient? You've really got to start work focusing on becoming more efficient in your business. Because when you do right now, it's not that busy. Right now, you can go from one city to the other, but because we have time, because things are slow. But when it starts picking up, you've really got to be more efficient. It took me up until I hired an employee to be able to utilize DRS's um, route planner. They have a route planner, if you don't know, where it plans your route out for the day. And you can kind of play with it to see how you can be most efficient and save time traveling from one place to another, pickups, drop offs, all that stuff. Sometimes it's smarter to leave a dumpster at a customer's house for an extra day versus fitting them in a schedule that just doesn't make sense. So you've got to start playing with being more efficient because when the time comes when we become busier, um, it just makes things that much easier. So my daughter, I've actually taught her now how to use the route planner for myself and for my driver. I mainly don't need that. I can route in my head. I'm pretty good at figuring out what's best with my time. But for my driver, I don't want them to dictate their own schedule as far as where they're going to go, when they're going to go. I don't want them to just kind of see it and kind of figure it out themselves. I want to have control of where my driver goes in what order. Whether it be sometimes bringing a full can back to the yard, maybe that's more efficient than taking it to the landfill and then bringing it back. Just lots of different options you can play with. But if you don't know how to work a system like that, like a route planner like that, you're just kind of to be honest, you're just kind of winging it, right? And you're hoping that you are being the most efficient possible, but you don't know for sure. So this route planner, and I know Docket, I believe, offers it too, and all those other ones. But um, my point is just find a way to use either way. You use Google Maps and you just add different stops. I don't care, but find a way to be the most efficient possible, so that you are um, making the best use of your time again because that can make the difference between a 12-hour day and a 10-hour day, um, is by just doing the wrong stop at the wrong time, leaving your windows open for a customer to deliver a dumpster, leaving that time open, unless they pay extra. I tell the customer that we deliver cans anytime between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. I deliver cans all day long because everybody and their mom wants a can first thing in the morning. We all know this. Everybody wants a can. They may call 9 o'clock tonight and they say, I need a dumpster for tomorrow. They go through the entire booking process and be like, oh, by the way, can I get it at 8:30 a.m.? And it's just like, I already have a plan scheduled for tomorrow. I will fit you in as best I can, but I charge extra if they want a guaranteed time slot. Nobody that I know was doing this other than Tony Elmore out of New York, and that's who I give credit to for giving me that idea, because we talked about it during DRS Con earlier this year, and uh, and it was a good idea, to be honest with you, because like I said, everybody always wants first thing in the morning, and again, you don't realize, like, we deliver all day long. So I deliver from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I leave myself open so that I can route the most efficient way possible. Um, just my 2 cents about that. Going back to what I was talking about being efficient, consider, again, DRS, docket, workies. If you don't use any of those, use some free routing tools. There's plenty of them out there. Use Google Maps, use your Google Calendar in conjunction with Google Maps. Find a way, and it's going to keep your overhead costs low. It's going to keep your fuel costs low. It's going to keep your wear and tear low on your vehicles. All that stuff. Let me know what you guys think about that. Learn how to use it now that it's slow. Again, find it's about being consistent, using it every single day so that when it does get pickup and you do get busy again, it's just second nature and you know what you're doing. Other than that, guys, those are the 5 tips that I got for you, things that you can do now. I'm going to go back to the comments. We're going to answer a couple more questions and then I am done for the night. So, again, if you guys have any questions that you want to ask before I sign off, please do so now. But we got about another 10 more minutes and I'm out of here. 3 tons of payload. Well, 3 tons is 6,000 pounds. I know that it's about 3 to 4 yards. Gotcha, Ontario. Yeah. 3 to 4 yards. So, yeah, I guess a ton of payload, a ton of concrete is about a yard. So if, like, let's say it's about the same for dirt, right? So if the guy put about 25 yards of dirt in my dumpster, 20 yards of dirt in my dumpster, it'd be about 20,000. Yeah, it's about 40,000 pounds. Arm wrestling says yes, I'm right. 1 cubic yard of broken up concrete is roughly 1 ton. Says I just find it interesting. He's telling guys to buy his concrete dumpsters, but once they buy them, they're gonna be overweight for sure. But he doesn't disclose how they're gonna be illegally heavy. I bought a concrete dumpster from him and it weighed 7 ton full of concrete. No way legally hauling those bins. Armpit. I don't. I'm sorry. Arm wrestling. I honestly don't know, man. Yeah, I can't speak for him to be honest with you. Uh, so okay, let's talk about being overweight. Uh, like, let's say the Mac, right? The Mac weighs, oh, I want to say it weighs about 17,000 pounds with a can on it. 17,000 pounds. I can haul. It just really depends, man. Really, at the end of the day, right? Because my truck, my Mac, is 33,000 pounds GVWR, downrated, derated to 26,000 pounds. Okay, so I can legally haul 26,000 pounds or less. That doesn't mean that. So if somebody puts 5 tons in my dumpster, I'm technically overweight by law, not by my GVWR, not by my truck. So it's kind of a risk we take, to be honest with you. A lot of guys do it, and I'm not saying it's right, but a lot of guys haul more than they should. I'm pretty sure that I was over my 60, or I don't know what I'm at, 70. I think I'm at 76,000 pounds in my new international truck, GVWR. Um, I was probably over that today, to be honest with you, with all that dirt in there. Um, it's common, really, to be honest with you. It's just a common thing sometimes, and it may not be right, and you could risk getting a ticket. But it's not uncommon for somebody to haul more than 26,000 pounds. Um, my 20s and 25 yard cans are about 4,000 pounds empty. So that literally leaves me 8 to 9 thousand pounds of payload to stay under 26,000 pounds. Have I hauled more than that? If you're a DOT and you're watching, you got something you should have, you should be doing something better with your life. But yeah, I've hauled heavier than that. I probably shouldn't have. I'm sure a lot of us have. We just got to be honest with ourselves. Uh, let's see here. Ontario. Just wondering, how is this Peterbilt only 3 tons of space? I don't think it's Peterbilt. His Peterbilt's 33,000 pounds, D-rated to 26, I believe. Just like my Mac is. Um, yeah, it's 3 tons of payload is where he would need to be at to stay under 26,000 pounds. Um, so that's not my place to. I have no idea if he stays under 3 tons or what he does. I know, like I said, it's very easy to go over 26,000 pounds. Very easy. Um, you can get shingles and go over easily over 26,000 pounds. And that could be in a 15 yard. Doesn't even have to be a small can. Um, it could be in a 20 yard. I mean, hell, I had a 20 yard full of full of shingles that I couldn't even pick up with my Hino or the Mac. That's when I had both of them, and I had to have it lifted. I got a video on that where the Skylift came and Skylift. Well, I think they're called Skylifts. Those huge forklifts came and lifted the dumpster onto my truck, helped me pick it up because it was so heavy. So let's see here. What other questions we got? How long did it take you to get from the Lone Star setup to a hook lift? How long did it take you to get to the truck in your hands after ordering? All right, waste guys. So I want to say about a year. I want to say I had the Lone Star for almost a year. Um, before I had lots of issues with my Lone Star. So the second I got my Lone Star, I regretted it. And I think I talked about it on my channel plenty of times where I wouldn't take a Lone Star for me if you gave it to me for free. So my trailer was junk. It was literally a consumer grade paperweight. Um, so since the second I got it, my goal was to get rid of it and move to the next bigger option, which was hook lift. So I don't think I even lasted a year before I sold my whole setup and went probably a year. Sold my whole setup and went to hook lift. And as far as I didn't order my Mac. I bought it already ready. I was actually on vacation with my wife on our anniversary in Mexico, and I got a phone call from the sales guy in at the dealership here local to me who said he watches the channel, and if I ever wanted to go hook lift, he had one for sale, and he'd love to show it to me when I got back from vacation so I can see kind of what they have to offer. And I told him, make sure you hold it for me because when I get back, I might buy it, which I did because I was just so tired of that Lone Star. So that's how that whole deal went. So I didn't even have to order it. It was already completed, which actually they have one still for sale now since the show. They've had it for sale. Um, it is what it is. Let's see here. So his rig, Ontario, his rig, let's see here. So he's about 19.5 and D-rated to 26,000 pounds. Yeah, so you're saying legally he can only carry 3 tons of payload. Yeah, and again, I'm not here. I don't know what he's doing. I'm going by what you're saying, but again, so he can haul three tons of payload with including a 7,000 pound. Yeah, probably it sounds about right, including a 7,000 pound can. So he has 3 tons of payload. Yeah, he's probably going over 26,000 pounds if he's going more than 3 tons or 3 yards of concrete. Um, his truck can handle it, and again, it's just kind of a risk we take, I guess. Maxco says only across my friend's farm and never on the public roads if DOT asks. Yeah, yeah. How is your new yard coming along, by the way? So New Yard is pretty cool. It's nice to have. It's absolutely nice to have. Uh, I still haven't finished spreading out all the rock, and we flood a little bit when it rains. It's a kind of a mud mess. So a lot of the dirt all the dirt that I got today, 2 full cans, I brought back to the yard. I will be spreading that out and then spreading out some of the rest of the rock. The rock is super expensive. Um, but other than that, it's extremely nice to have, super convenient. I got a container for it. storage container. It's a 40-foot high cube container. Thing is massive, and I'll make a video on it real soon. But show you guys, I'm waiting for electrical to be installed so I can run electricity to the cube or to the to the container, and have a little desk in there, a microwave, coffee pot, all that stuff. How did popping a wheelie feel? Were you in? Yeah, man, I was in the cab. So it made a lot of noise. The hook made a lot of grinding noise on the container when I was lifting it up, and I definitely I felt it just kind of lift up off the ground. I literally jumped out because it was pretty high off the ground. It doesn't look like it was that high off the ground in the pictures, um, but it was pretty high up there. It was a little nerve wracking for sure. I knew that if the hook could lift it up, it was under 50,000 pounds. So so I was good there. Hook lifted it up just fine because these hooks are rated whatever they're rated at, they won't go much above that. It's not like a trailer where okay, a trailer's kind of rated at 10,000. You can probably do $10,000 of load on there, or I'm sorry, 10,000 pounds of load on there. It's rated at 16,000 pounds, but the winch can pull a lot more than that. A lot of you guys have. And the trailer can handle a lot more than that, and a lot of you guys have done that as well. But the hook, being a hook system, if it's rated at 20,000 pounds, odds are if it's a 22,000 pound can, the hook will not lift it up without some kind of help. So I knew that if the hook lifted it up, I was at least under 50,000 pounds. So I know I wasn't over 50. Um, and then going back down, bringing the can on and lowering the truck back down, it actually went down really smooth. It didn't slam down. And again, my pal finger hook lift has three sensors on the rails that when the hook comes back down, it engages this sensor and it causes it to slowly, no matter how much gas you're giving it, how much you're revving that engine, it will bring it down really nice and slow so that there's no hard slam on the rails or on the chassis of the truck. And so it just came down really smooth, which was really nice. Didn't worry about it at all. A lot of people say that I could have bent some people say I could have bent the frame, or I could have damaged my setup. It's a possibility, but that truck is a tank. I'm just going to be, that truck is one hell of a tank. And it sounds like I've got an air leak. I've had an air leak for a while. I got to figure out what this air leak is. But regardless, that truck handles really, really good. I'm talking about my big international. First truck empty 20 was 16,740, and I had 4.38 ton payload. My new 750D rated is 19.3, only has 3.34 ton payload. I mean, and honestly, in-laws, like again, you only have 3.34 tons. I'm sure I'd be willing to bet 40% of your cans are probably more than that. It's just the name of the game. Sometimes we do risk it a lot. And the thing is, with these medium trucks, it's really hard not to go over 26,000 pounds. Um, so yeah, eventually maybe I'll put my Mac under DOT number and then have to hire a DOT driver. But right now, I'm good where I'm at. If it's a heavy can, if I know it's going to be a heavy can, even if it's a 20, it doesn't technically fit my rails. 14 foot, I can haul a 14-foot with my international. So that's what's kind of nice about having a non-CDL and a CDL truck is if my non-CDL truck ever gets in trouble, my CDL truck will come in and save the day. I had a 15-yard not that long ago filled to the brim with shingles, and it just so happened that I picked up that 15-yard because Kevin was busy that day and the customer wanted it gone. So, but I don't think the Mac would have been able to pick that 15-yard of shingles full up. It was perfectly filled. I'm talking about picture perfect. I think I posted it on my Facebook page. Picture perfect, filled to the brim, and it wasn't even like big chunks of shingles. It was like a bunch of little pieces, like almost like shredded pieces of shingles, and it was heavy. But the international picked it up like it was nothing. Let's see here. Way Sky says, "What kind of numbers were you doing before you jumped into the hook lift? I have 5 dumpsters with a Max D setup, but don't want to keep growing the system. I want to get into hook lifts ASAP." That's a struggle that you face, right? Because I had 10 dumpsters with my roll off. 10 with my Lone Star set up with 10 Lone Star. No, they weren't Lone Star. They were. I had about 6 Lone Star dumpsters, and the rest were Keystone dumpsters made to fit my Lone Star. Um, Money wise, I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I'd have to go back. If you go back and watch some of my videos, I did talk about money in some of them. Just know on average, I would say an industry standard, each can should be renting, about 3 times a month, 3.5 times a month, give or take. At let's say an average cost of $500 a month. Just really depends on the number of cans you have. What does that come out to? That's how I would calculate it and give you kind of a real rough mile high view of where you could be at with 5 or 10 dumpsters. Ontario says, "Awesome, cool to hear you have the 40-foot can in Power 2. Congrats, man. Yeah, the container's pretty cool. Like I said, it's way bigger looking on the inside than it is on the outside. So I went to Home Depot. I got some of those heavy duty Husky shelves and stuff like that and put them up there. Like I said, I'll do a video. Maybe I'll shoot a video tomorrow on it. And I've got an enclosed trailer there too with some tools and my tractor over there. So again, having the yard is really nice. Really nice. Once I get electricity, it'll be even better. With that, guys, I am going to head out. Thanks again for joining. Make sure you, before you leave, make sure you hit that like button, that thumbs up button. I hope I gave you guys value today. Hope I was able to help you guys plan for 2024. If I did, leave it in the comments below. And I'm out of here. We will see you guys on the next one.